We have new details out of Fulton County about the arrest of Braves player Marcell Ozuna. Some pretty deep details here. Listen to this. So an arrest warrant detailing Ozuna threatened to kill his wife as they argued over an alleged affair. Now, the warrant says Ozuna and his wife, they started arguing after he took her cell phone without her knowing and then wouldn't give it back. She then took his phone and called 911. The warrant goes on to say his wife chased him and almost hit him with a garden light. At one point, she grabbed a knife from the kitchen, holding it by her hip. Moments later, Ozuna smashed her face into the wall and tried to choke her. Officers say they saw Ozuna attacking his wife when they got there. He's charged with aggravated assault by strangulation. He was released on a $20,000 bond.